guys doing?
We're great.
I'm in your studio here.
I have to tell you, this has touched my heart so much that you're doing this both with us and with those kids.
I'm God.
We're so grateful. Thank you.
Oh, thank you for all you do, and congratulations, Mr. Uncle.
Oh, thank you, Mrs. Obama is with us here at Kiss FM. They're calling me the Funkle, the fun uncle.
All right, you planned that already?
Yeah, well, I made a sweatshirt.
Okay.
It says Funkle Rai Rai.
You got Funkle Rai Rai. That's what I'm going to start calling you.
Yeah, I'm down. So let me tell you, Mrs. Obama is with us right now. She is at the Denver studio of our Seacrest Studios, the Children's Hospital there in Denver. So excited and honored and flattered, and it's wonderful to see you. Happy holidays.
Happy holidays. And I am excited. I should be thanking you for letting me be here and spending this time with these amazing kids and the staff here. So you're doing me a huge favor because, I like to read. So.
I know. Well, we did this once in D.C. at the Children's Hospital as well for the holidays. You said to Oprah something that really struck me, and I'm going to follow your lead on this. And I used to do this, and I feel like a bad person, but you said you don't ask kids what they're going to be when they grow up.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Now, tell everybody what you said. I thought that was interesting.
One of the things I wrote in my book, it's one of the questions I hate that we ask young people. What do you want to be when you grow up? As if growing up is finite.
Right.
And that you become something and that's the end. And especially when we ask that of little kids, it's like, what do they know about life yet? They haven't been exposed. And so what kids tend to do is sort of pick a career or something that they know, and they see the response that they get from adults. It just puts them in a corner in a way that, we want to give kids a chance to be kids and to explore, and hopefully who they're going to be will continue until the day they die, because what would life be if we all just knew at 10 what we were going to be and that was it?
No, and I think one of the smartest things one can do is realize something's not for them. Like that's
absolutely
that's
right.
a really valuable thing to be able to do.
Well, and I had to figure that out myself because I was one of those kids. I was a box checker. I picked law because people seemed to like that when I said I wanted to be a lawyer. Right. And then I accumulated all that debt and went to great schools and became a lawyer, and realized after practicing for a couple of years, I was like, I hate this.
And was it hard? I mean, you talk about this, but how difficult was it to come to that conclusion and admit to yourself, wait, this is not the path?
It was so difficult. Nobody told me that you could switch gears. Right. And then again, I had debt. So how do you go to parents my parents were working class parents who had made sacrifices for me. They helped me with undergrad, but I took out loans for college, so I had all this debt. And how do you go to them and say, I'm just not feeling passionate about the law when, they're like, what is passion? That's not what we do. We earn a living. So, it took a second for me to kind of forgive myself. And then I had to figure out, now how do I figure out who I want to be? How do you do that? Because you're not taught that in college.
Right.
You're taught to pick a major and you're taught to pick a career, but you're not taught how to find your passion, the things that you care about and what brings your heart joy. And that was a different type of exploration for me.
I like how you talk about how your kids were over being in the White House pretty quickly. Like the coolness wore off fast for the kids, right?
They were never really into any of this stuff. I mean, they liked the campaigning because it meant lots of ice cream all the time. That's what they thought campaigning was. It was just a series of events where they got ice cream.
Because they were young. They were very young at that point.
They were so young. And, I tell the story about how Barack, when he was thinking about running for president, he went to Malia, and then she was maybe 8, 9 at the time, to say, what do you think if Daddy runs for president? And she was like, well, don't you think you should be vice president first? I was like, you tell him.
Got to check the boxes.
Aren't you rushing things a little bit? So
that's funny.
And in the end, they were like, okay, Daddy, whatever you want. But then, they, the White House sort of, just all the trappings of growing up in the national spotlight. And, they were little girls who went to school with a 3-car motorcade filled with men with guns every day. Wow. And they had to get used to, being surrounded by adults all the time, watching their every move and trying to make friends. And a play date with Malia and Sasha meant your house had to be
Searched,
literally
right.
swept
Swept,
and
yeah.
searched, and the families had to be questioned. So, it was kind of unusual. I had to make that first call of like, hello, Mrs. Such and Such. Well, thank you for inviting Sasha over, but you're going to have to go through a really rigorous background check, and some dogs are going to come through your house. But, in the end, she's really a good kid. So they had to learn how to live their lives. And, Malia having her first boyfriend, with people asking questions about who this kid was.
Who was more difficult in terms of interrogation? Barack Obama, the president,
good
or the
question.
Secret Service?
Oh, the Secret Service. I mean, Barack, that's one of the reasons why I think he ran for a second term and was so desperate. He was like, look, having teenage daughters and traveling with men with guns, he's like, it's worth all of the, so he could play like good cop and be like, yeah, sure, young man, you can do whatever. And then, there's a tale of cars behind this kid, so he could play cool dad.
That's good built-in babysitting for sure.
Heck yeah.
It's true.
Michelle Obama is with us. Becoming is available now. We'll come back in just a second here. 102.7 KISS FM.